Hi guys, how you doing? It's Monday morning, a little chilly. Okay, last video I put up, I talked about movement with the stick, primarily backwards, using the broken strikes or recoil strikes, however you want to label that. Today I'm going to give a little tip on how to use the pendulum. This is a maze ball. It's made of leather, it's full of sand, and I just use it as a moving target. Normally when I practice stick boxing, I'm usually using a rattan stick of 28 inches. For today, especially when I'm hitting the pendulum, I use a super lightweight improvised CPVC pipe. It's 1/2 inch. I just put some tape on it. And the reason I do that is because when you're practicing with a big stick, the ball tends to go nuts, you know. But when you practice with a lighter stick, it's a lot better. It doesn't go crazy. So that's the reason. But this could be anything, you know. But the whole idea is to be able to practice accuracy and stepping with my strikes. And like I said, I usually use the bigger stick. But the heavier the stick, the more the ball goes crazy. And it's just a target acquisition. It's just something to hit and practice everything. So with that said, that's why. Okay, one of the things the pendulum is good for when you're swinging it is you have to adjust the tip of your weapon, whether it's your hand, your kick, your stick, your blade, to the pendulum coming in. What does the pendulum represent? It could represent the weapon, it could represent the hand holding the weapon, or both. Keep in mind that, you know, striking and blocking are largely the same kind of thing as far as line familiarization, you know. The line they're going to travel, so don't get caught up on that. The idea is just to practice putting your stick where you want to put your stick. So one of the things I like to practice is when I'm practicing in the 4 directions. The first one, obviously when we stand still, we just strike, okay? Then you start to swing the pendulum. You see how it moves? When do you want to launch your strike? Well, obviously, as soon as it's in danger of hitting you, all right? When that pumps up, see, if I go too soon, I miss. If I go too late, it jams me up. So what I'm trying to learn to do is place my tip where I want to place my tip based upon their invasion. Does that make sense? And you just practice doing that, going back and forth, all right? Then as you get more comfortable with it, you use a little bit more speed, okay? So as I just come forward, yeah, I just practice. How's my balance? How's my footwork? Okay? I like to stand like a boxer, like all the people who follow me already know. So that's why I stand like this. I don't stand like this. I don't stand like this. Will I end up in these positions through a transition? Sure. But for the all basic practice, I like to think about the center line. Where is my weapon? Based on my center line. Where am I leaving myself open? Where am I staying covered? Okay? So obviously the first ones I'm doing is outside and inside horizontal strike. Okay? That's just getting used to transitioning the center line. Obviously the center line, you can see the pendulum here. I'm striking here, recoil, striking here. You can't go through. The problem with going through is you leave yourself vulnerable for a second. And somebody who's savvy is going to nail you. Okay? That's just something to consider. That's what I consider. All right? And in boxing, we think about that all the time. Okay? It's called center line concept or center line principle. All right? So when you're using recoil strikes, think about that. So as it comes forward, you strike, strike. Now I'm back to center line, right? Or if I go inside, outside, the same thing. I go out the center line. Plus, it's also a monitoring tool. But what you're trying to practice doing, like I said, is move with it, okay? So it comes in, okay? You want to move with it. That's the whole idea, okay? All right? Then we come back out this way, okay? You want to move with it as it's coming forward. All right? Now, when you feel comfortable with that, think about following it back in, okay? So, let's say you evade a strike and then follow back in, all right? It's not as easy. You're following it back in. Comes out. Okay? So you're trying to time that as you're doing your recoil, right? So if you're zoning out of the way, okay? So you zone out of the way here and then here. It's a step slide. So you want to practice those basic things. I like the recoil strikes because they're snappy and I come right back online. Like I said, when you're using a bigger stick, and when you're practicing this kind of work, it's a little bit different, okay? When when you tap the ball, it goes nuts, you know? So it just makes it harder. But when you practice with the light stick, the ball's not gonna go crazy so much. So you get a little bit more control so you can work on the idea of targeting, all right? Okay, then when that feels okay, forward and backward, swing it to the side, okay? That's more like a cutoff thing, all right? But what we're doing is we're trying to, as it's swinging this way, this is somebody swinging a strike this way to my head or my hand or my elbow. When it's swinging from side to side, all right, when it comes here, I'm going, pow, boom, right? Versus when it's coming forward, I have to shift. But if it's coming to the side, the block hit, all right? Now you notice that one was a follow through, okay, when it comes here. Boom, because I got right back with a snap. Or you don't have to follow through, okay? You can go, okay? That was more like a jab. So I'm striking here, all right? Same thing when it's coming this way. All right, here, that's coming from the outside. That's the inside, all right? Okay, so when it comes here, like here, right? Strike, right? You strike it, put them together. See, it's not easy. That's part of the fun. Here. So that's what you're practicing doing, and you get better and better and better at it when you're trying to put this stick. Because keep in mind that hand is moving, that's coming at you. All right, that's the biggest thing when you're using this as a moving target, and you just get more comfortable with it and more comfortable with it, and that's something I want to share. That's something I practice a lot when I don't have the luxury of a training partner, and I do a lot of hand and limb targeting. I study the stepping action. I want to disrupt it. I want to hit the joints. I want to hit the hand holding the weapon. Those are my target acquisitions. And when you have a moving target like this, it helps you get much better at it. Because a lot of people just stand there and swing a stick, and when they spar, they're jumping in. That's not realistic. Because you want to think about this stuff. It's over very quickly when somebody uses an improvised weapon. And it's a scary thing if you're not accustomed to it. I mean, it's one thing to sit there and train and spar with sticks, but if you don't actually understand the combative nature or have ever been smacked by something for real, you don't get it. So that's why also too much safety equipment is not a good idea. You want to work on skill specifically, okay? But that's a whole nother tip. Anyway, that's what I wanted to share, okay? Remember, as it's coming forward, or step away, okay? Just practice those things and have fun. Play tag, all right? Phone number, 818-987-1760. Email address, billyboston@gmail.com. Okay, thank you very much. Till next time.